After the age of 60, your blood vessels are literally aging faster than the rest of your body, and plain water alone isn't enough to stop it. What if one tiny change to the way you drink water could improve your circulation, sharpen your brain, and give your heart the support it's been missing? Because today, you're going to find out exactly what that change is and why most people over 60 are still doing it the wrong way. This isn't about expensive supplements or complicated routines. This is something you can start doing today, in your kitchen, with things you probably already have at home. And once you understand why this works, you'll never look at a plain glass of water the same way again. Let's start with the real problem, because most people don't fully understand what's happening inside their blood vessels as they age. When you were in your 30s and 40s, your blood vessels were elastic. They expanded and contracted with ease. Blood moved freely, oxygen reached your muscles, your brain stayed sharp, and your heart didn't have to work overtime. But somewhere around your 50s and definitely by your 60s, something shifts. The inner lining of your blood vessels, called the endothelium, starts losing its ability to produce a molecule called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is basically your body's natural blood vessel relaxer. Without enough of it, your vessels get stiffer. Blood pressure creeps up. Circulation to your legs, your hands, your brain, all of it slows down. You start feeling it. Cold feet, brain fog, afternoon fatigue, legs that feel heavy when you climb stairs. And here's what makes it worse. Dehydration. Even mild dehydration, the kind you might not even notice, causes your blood to become thicker and more viscous. Thicker blood moves slower. It puts more strain on your heart, increases your risk of clots, and reduces the amount of oxygen reaching every single organ in your body. Now, here's the thing most people miss. You can drink plenty of plain water and still be functionally dehydrated at the cellular level because water alone, especially as you age, doesn't always absorb efficiently. It can pass right through your system without fully hydrating your cells. That's where the trick comes in. The one change that makes all the difference is this: adding electrolytes and specific circulation-boosting compounds to your water. Not a sugary sports drink, not an expensive powder loaded with artificial colors, something simple, natural, and backed by real science. The most powerful version of this is what many researchers and doctors are now calling functional hydration. Water that doesn't just quench thirst, but actively supports the health of your blood vessels while it hydrates your cells. The single most accessible and effective version of this. Warm water with fresh lemon juice, a small pinch of pink Himalayan salt, and a teaspoon of raw honey, consumed first thing in the morning. That's it. Let's talk about why each of those ingredients does something remarkable for your circulation. Lemon juice is rich in vitamin C and flavonoids, two compounds that research has consistently linked to improved endothelial function. That means they help your blood vessel lining work better. They support nitric oxide production, which relaxes your vessels and allows blood to flow more freely. One study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that higher vitamin C intake was associated with significantly lower risk of cardiovascular disease, and blood vessel flexibility was one of the key mechanisms. When you squeeze fresh lemon into your morning water, you're essentially giving your endothelium a daily maintenance dose of nutrients it needs to do its job. And unlike taking an isolated supplement, the flavonoids and vitamin C in a real lemon work together in a way that synthetic versions often can't replicate. Now let's talk about the salt. Many people over 60 have been told to avoid salt completely, and that advice, while well-intentioned, is actually more nuanced than most people realize. Plain table salt in large quantities, yes, that can be harmful for those with certain heart conditions, but a small pinch of pink Himalayan salt or quality sea salt in your morning water does something completely different. It provides sodium, potassium, magnesium, and trace minerals that act as electrolytes. And electrolytes are what allow your cells to actually absorb the water you drink. Without electrolytes, water moves in and out of your cells poorly. With them, cellular hydration improves dramatically. And well-hydrated cells mean blood that flows with the right consistency, not too thick, not too thin. Your heart doesn't have to strain as hard to push it through your vessels. The honey deserves special attention. Raw honey, but not the processed kind, that contains polyphenols and antioxidants that have been studied for their positive effect on arterial health. Specifically, research has found that certain flavonoids in raw honey help reduce oxidative stress in blood vessels. Oxidative stress is essentially rust at the cellular level. It damages the walls of your arteries, contributes to plaque buildup, and accelerates the stiffening we talked about earlier. Even a small daily dose of raw honey's antioxidants helps counteract that process. And the natural sugars in honey, combined with the electrolytes in the salt and the vitamin C in lemon, create a gentle metabolic boost right when your body needs it most, in the morning after a full night without food or water. Now, here's where the science gets really interesting. Your circulation follows a natural rhythm tied to your circadian clock, the biological timing system that governs nearly every process in your body. Blood pressure is typically highest in the morning shortly after you wake up. This is actually when cardiovascular events like heart attacks and strokes are statistically most common. One reason for this is that your blood is slightly more viscous after several hours of sleep without hydration. Your body is literally in its most dehydrated state when you wake up, and your blood vessels are at their stiffest point of the day. Drinking your functional hydration water within 15 to 20 minutes of waking up directly addresses this window of vulnerability. It thins your blood back to its healthy consistency, begins replenishing electrolytes, kickstarts nitric oxide production through the vitamin C, and gently stimulates circulation throughout your body before you've even had breakfast. And this brings us to something most people get completely wrong: temperature. A lot of people drink cold water first thing in the morning because it feels refreshing. But here's what cold water actually does to your circulation. It causes vasoconstriction, meaning your blood vessels temporarily narrow when cold water hits your digestive system. For a young person, this is no big deal. For someone over 60 with already stiffer vessels, it's working against exactly what you're trying to achieve. Warm water, on the other hand, causes mild vasodilation. It gently opens up your blood vessels and promotes better flow. This is why traditional medicine systems, Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, have recommended warm or room temperature water for centuries. Modern cardiovascular research is now beginning to validate what these traditions understood intuitively. Warm water in the morning is simply kinder to aging vessels than cold water. Let's talk about another incredibly powerful addition to your functional water that many people overlook: ginger. If lemon and salt and honey make up your morning baseline, then adding a few thin slices of fresh ginger or half a teaspoon of ginger powder takes your circulation support to a completely different level. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shogaols that have been shown in clinical research to inhibit platelet aggregation, meaning they help prevent your blood cells from clumping together abnormally. Clumping platelets are one of the contributing factors to sluggish circulation and, in more serious cases, clot formation. Ginger essentially keeps your blood moving the way it should. On top of that, ginger has mild thermogenic effects. It gently raises your body's core temperature and stimulates circulation to your extremities. If you've ever noticed your feet or hands feeling warmer after eating something with ginger, that's not a coincidence. That's improved peripheral blood flow you can actually feel. There are also specific timing strategies that can dramatically amplify the benefits of functional hydration, and most people have no idea they exist. The first is something called pre-meal hydration, and the research behind it is genuinely surprising. Drinking a glass of your functional water about 20 to 30 minutes before each meal has been shown to improve blood flow to your digestive organs, which helps you absorb nutrients more effectively. And better nutrient absorption means your cardiovascular system gets the vitamins and minerals it needs: magnesium for vessel relaxation, potassium for blood pressure regulation, B vitamins for red blood cell health. Your circulation doesn't operate in isolation. It's fed by what you eat and how well you absorb it. The second timing strategy is evening hydration, but done carefully. Many people over 60 avoid drinking water in the evening because of nighttime trips to the bathroom. That's understandable, but here's what happens when you're mildly dehydrated during sleep. Your blood becomes thicker, your body releases certain stress hormones to compensate. Overnight is actually when a lot of quiet inflammation occurs in blood vessel walls. A small glass of warm water with just a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon about an hour before bed, not a full glass, just about 4 to 6 ounces, can help maintain overnight hydration without disrupting your sleep too severely. And think of it as maintenance hydration rather than full hydration. Now, let's address some myths that are genuinely holding people back, then, because there's a lot of bad advice floating around, especially online. The first myth is that drinking more water is always better. It isn't. Drinking large amounts of plain water too quickly can actually dilute the electrolytes in your blood, leading to a condition called hyponatremia, low sodium. In older adults, this is more of a real risk than many people realize because aging kidneys are less efficient at regulating sodium balance. Symptoms can range from mild nausea and confusion to, in serious cases, much more dangerous outcomes. The key isn't to drink more, it's to drink smarter. Hydrating consistently throughout the day in moderate amounts with electrolyte balance in mind is far more effective and far safer than trying to chug your way to better circulation. The second myth is that caffeinated drinks like coffee and tea dehydrate you and harm circulation. This one is largely outdated. Moderate coffee consumption, 2 to 3 cups per day, has actually been associated with improved endothelial function and reduced cardiovascular risk in multiple large-scale studies. Tea, particularly green tea and hibiscus tea, contains compounds that have some of the strongest evidence in nutrition research for directly improving blood vessel flexibility and lowering blood pressure. Hibiscus tea in particular has been compared favorably to certain antihypertensive medications in preliminary research. So if you enjoy your morning tea or coffee, you don't need to feel guilty about it. The problem is when caffeinated drinks replace water entirely, or when they come loaded with sugar and cream that offset any benefit. The third myth, and this one is important, is that supplements are a reliable substitute for what we've been talking about. Many people are taking fish oil, CoQ10, or various circulation supplements and assuming that covers them, so their hydration doesn't matter as much. But supplements don't change the viscosity of your blood the way proper hydration does. They don't deliver the real-time vessel relaxing effect of warm electrolyte water. They don't produce the morning circadian benefit we discussed. Supplements can be valuable additions, absolutely, but they are not replacements for functional daily hydration. They work alongside it, not instead of it. Let's go through the full practical routine so you have something concrete to take away from this. First thing when you wake up, and before your coffee, before breakfast, before anything else, prepare your morning circulation drink. Start with 8 to 12 ounces of warm water, not hot, just comfortably warm. Add the juice of half a fresh lemon, a small pinch, and I mean small, like 1/8 of a teaspoon, of pink Himalayan or sea salt, a teaspoon of raw, unprocessed honey. If you have it, 2 or 3 thin slices of fresh ginger or a half teaspoon of ginger powder. Stir it gently and drink it slowly over 5 to 10 minutes. Don't gulp it. Let your body absorb it steadily. Mid-morning, around 2 hours after your morning drink, have another glass of plain water or a cup of green tea or hibiscus tea. This keeps your hydration consistent without overloading your kidneys all at once. Before lunch, about 20 to 30 minutes beforehand, another glass of warm water, thai kai and di minsi nyari thai. Plain is fine here. This prepares your digestive system and blood flow for the meal. Repeat before dinner, and if you choose to do the small evening hydration drink, keep it to 4 to 6 ounces and make it about an hour before you plan to sleep. This isn't complicated. It doesn't cost much. And the cumulative effect of doing this consistently every single morning is the kind of gentle, sustainable improvement in circulation that medications often try to achieve, but with none of the side effects. People who've adopted this routine report warmer hands and feet within the first week or two, better mental clarity in the mornings, more stable energy through the afternoon, fewer headaches. These aren't miraculous claims. They're the predictable results of giving your blood vessels what they need to function the way they were designed to. One more thing worth mentioning, movement. Even the best functional hydration routine works significantly better when you pair it with gentle circulation supporting movement. You don't need to run a marathon after you drink your morning water, take a 10-minute walk, or do some simple ankle circles and calf raises if getting outside isn't an option. Your calf muscles act as a secondary pump for your circulatory system. They squeeze blood upward from your legs back toward your heart. Activating them in the morning after your hydration is one of the most powerful things you can do for your overall blood flow. Everything we've talked about today is safe for most people, but your individual situation matters enormously. If you're on blood pressure medication, blood thinners, or have kidney disease, talk to your doctor before making any changes to your fluid and electrolyte intake. What works beautifully for one person may need adjustments for another. Your physician knows your full health picture. These are supportive, evidence-informed habits, not medical prescriptions. If any part of this surprised you, especially the part about warm versus cold water or why plain water might not be enough, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps this information reach more people who need it. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because next time we're going deep into the specific foods that act like natural blood pressure medication, and a few of them are probably already sitting in your kitchen right now. Drop a comment below telling me whether you've tried any of these already, or if you have questions about anything we covered. I read every comment. See you in the next one.